Hi there. I'm just going to do a talk, and this talk is going to be about the global awakening. I just saw a post on the internet, Facebook I think it was, about that the ascension is like a government organized thing, but it's not. And the reason I know it's not is because I had an unexpected spiritual awakening. I didn't know anything about this stuff. I didn't know anything about ascension or any stuff I talk about. And it came out of nowhere, and now I know that what's going on is that we're all going through a global shift in awareness, where we're returning where we're coming from a demonic entity ruling the planet. I think possibly after Christ was killed, possibly. It's just a theory, if he did exist, Jesus. And this demonic force has been controlling the planet ever since. But now there's an awakening, and it's an ascension where we're returning to our true self, which is our divinity, which is just a state of tantric life force euphoria, which is the true self. And this is not government organized stuff. I know because of this awakening I had. Like I say, I didn't know anything about this kind of stuff. This came out of nowhere. And so take it from me, I'm talking now not from someone that got into this stuff through doing a course. I had an unexpected spiritual awakening where I was then faced with all different kind of things. And I talk about perception. Mind control does exist, but this ascension process is what the system is putting 5G out there and all this kind of AI stuff to prevent. They don't want this. So the ascension, you don't want to tell people that ascension is the devil or something, because that's the thing that's actually here to save you. And I know this for sure because it happened to me, and I didn't know anything about this stuff. Like I say, I didn't know anything about awakening, or I didn't even know what was happening. And took me years to realize it was called a spiritual awakening. I knew it was a spiritual experience though. But what is actually happening, people have had spiritual awakenings to change the energy. And certain people were ready to have these awakenings. And what's happening is the awakened energy's changed, and we're all going through a global awakening where we're coming from division and chaos to oneness, to understanding that we're all one, that we're all just one infinite awareness, infinite consciousness, and that our bodies are just to experience life on a reality. That's it. You're not your body, this is just a life experience, but that's it. And when you die, you may have a different kind of body. You might be black this life, you might be white in the next. And so don't get confused. People that say this kind of stuff have probably not had an unexpected spiritual awakening, so they don't understand about ascension. They probably don't understand what the fifth dimension is. They probably don't know what the fourth dimension is. And this is why they would say this kind of stuff, but this is because they haven't had the experience. And so many people now have had it. I found out through the internet all over the planet. And this happened to me, and I'm not crazy. I'm not at all crazy, and I won't let anyone make me think that I'm crazy, because I'm not. This came out of nowhere. I was very depressed, and then all of a sudden, what awakening is just, it's when you are on your own a lot, as I was, I started to be aware, and I started to ask the question, who am I? And then I started going through this awakening. Because once you're asking the question, who you are, I never asked it before. Most people don't ask that question. Most people you're born into the world, and then your parents are programming your school. Everything outward has been programmed by their parents. And people don't normally realize this until they have an awakening. Now, what's an awakening? It's just simply that self-awareness thing. Asleep really means someone who's not aware of their self. They're not actually asking these questions, who are they? They're just repeating. So awakening, you can awaken yourself right now by simply deprogramming yourself and reprogramming yourself. And then what happens is you get to the true self. And the true self is just a state of love. That's the simplest way I could pronounce it. Just love with no neediness attached. The problem with our love is it's needy because it's been programmed into us. And so, yes, take it from me that someone that didn't know anything about this, that had an unexpected spiritual awakening, and I get awakenings every day, all the time, ever since. And we are going through a global awakening ascension process where we are returning to our divine self. And this is the reason why the system is trying to rush out this 5G and artificial intelligence. It's trying to target the ones who have not had these awakenings yet, so it can lock them into this AI kill grid, human control grid, and so they're hoping that they won't spiritually awaken. That's why they're doing that. There's a war going on just now from the system at the top, which I believe is a demonic entity against humans. And so I just wanted to clear that up and do a video on that. That's what's happening. We're becoming we're aware of 5G and what's happened. People are standing up against it, but we are going through a global shift in awareness where we are returning to love and harmony, which is in fact our natural divine state. All is within you. Thank you for watching and listening. Thank you.